Morning. 8th then, about courage and strength, but not abusing it and controlling. Because the song is When I Need You. If somebody needs you or thinks they do, you've got to decide when, Uranus, when or if to give that help. 4th house of home and family life, and Scorpio, which is joint finances and the reproductive organs. So let's have a look then, because this looks like it's looking financial need, not possibly emotional, but who knows. So let's have a look. A minute. So because I'm looking open that someone might see this one day and send me tarot cards, people that do them and what have you. One is magical botanical, and one is the woodland wardens. The other one's the rune deck. So Jessica Rue, Maxine Miller, Christopher Pensac, and the rune deck I'm not sure. So let's start then. It is the Leo card. People always think it's because it's got the lion on it. The card is actually talking about the female in the white dress. That is the strength, the person that can tame the beast. That's the one they're talking about. Stronger than the beast. Stronger than the beast within you or without. There it is, some way off. But it is courage, it is strength. Leo, Aries. So we're back to the pretense then. Somebody pretending to be something or someone they're not. False masks. Lies. Confused mind. Criminal activity. Gemini. And if you look at the community tab, you'll see what we can join the dots with Elaine's astrology and the chart. I can't do the chart while my phone's on the blink, but I will try and do it as soon as I get a new phone. So, criminal activity, somebody wearing many hats, being many things to many different people. Issues with the hands, arms, shoulders, Gemini energy, the honeysuckle, the passion flower, the roses. The deceit and lies. Confused mind. Somebody's not proud of what they've done, not proud of what they've achieved, but they've got more than halfway, and it's not all been bad. but they are reaping the rewards for something they did perhaps 7 years ago, or longer. They're looking at the past and thinking, was it all worth it? This is the apple tree. We don't chop the apple tree down for firewood just because it gives us one bad crop. We prune the branches, we feed the roots for a better crop later on. So intentionally or unintentionally, whatever you've done has brought you to now. And you have to decide what stays and what goes, so that you can finish what you started. But somebody here isn't open to that, isn't open to receiving that. They are shut down. Perhaps they don't trust themselves anymore or don't trust others anymore. Emotionally shut down. Because they made the wrong choice. Because this was the choice for it was the lovers. Adam, Eve, Lily, the snake. This is this year. Separations. David, the Mercury again, which could be that it's in retrograde. Twins. The Garden of Eden, the apple tree again, which usually protects, but not in this case. 6 or 24. Issues with siblings and children. Fathers, 4 or 31. Aries, protection and success. A man who is in a position of power. Priests, kings, bosses, government officials, father figures, the main man in your life. A head and face healing. Strength, courage, Aries, Leo, Gemini. Learning to tame the beast within or without, learning to control those emotions, learning not to try and control others, and moving on. Moving on from stormy waters to calm ones. Do not take the baggage of the past with you. 6 weeks. Travel across water perhaps. But moving from stormy waters to calmer ones. If you take those swords, those words, those hurts from the past in that boat, they will eventually puncture the boat and sink you. You have to leave them behind. 6 weeks. Yeah, the number 10, a change in fortune that we're not going to like. The wheel keeps turning. It is like any wheel, revolving. So if we've hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up. The number 10, massively important. So it could be our Prime Minister, a change at number 10, a change in address maybe, like me, to number 10. 10, wherever you see it, is negative. There is a marriage, a friendship, schools, teachers, the name Simon Peter again, the loss of keys, the loss of belief in something or someone. Again, the priest, it keeps coming up, maybe the Pope, but it's Catholicism or any religion, it's institutions, but it's somebody selling the soul to the devil. 5 and 23, which we had yesterday. There is 2 4s here, so we know a change is coming. Some of us don't want to accept it. Some of us just need to have some peace between battles. Bing bong. A day off. A time to rest and recoup our thoughts. 4 weeks. An apology is needed before you can move forwards. And you have to heal yourself before you can heal others. This is slow and steady wins the race. An improvement in finance and career. Slow movements forwards. Virgo. Chiron. Physician, heal thyself. The one with the scar on the leg, the limp, the amputation, Agriculture, Manchester, the bees. Somebody's been sitting on the fence, possibly this father figure, this boss, Aries, for at least 2 years, I would say more. You can't keep everything and everyone happy. You have to make yourself happy. But spinning those plates, eventually one is going to drop. You have a decision to make. Somebody is here has been put at the gates of hell by someone else, because now we have a couple, and it could be a couple that's been put at the gates of hell by others, because these are a divine couple, high priest and the high priestess. He sold his soul to the devil, and she was the price. Daughters, sacrifices, the travellers, the Romanes, the tarot readers, the psychics. They've allowed negativity into their force field, be it financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, or physically. Somebody has sacrificed their divine counterpart for the sake of finances. But now, moving on, because 6 weeks moving on, this Virgo energy brings possibly an apology. Buddha would probably apologise to his family and his people, because he left the palace with nothing but the shirt on his back to follow what he saw as his true purpose. All the riches, nothing in this world back to him. And you will not walk this journey alone, because Spirit will send somebody in spirit or flesh to walk with you. They will hold their lantern up to guide your way. This is grandparents, this is Walter, this is Buddha, but it is your true life purpose, 9 and 27. So come September, 6 weeks would be, around end of August, September time. So Mercury retrograde, there it is there. And I'm sure Elaine said we were in some sort of retrograde, and she did say about Mercury retrograde. I did read it, Elaine. It's just that once I've started another read, everything goes out my head. So 2 weeks. Somebody believes that they can hold you to ransom as hostage. Emotionally, financially, spiritually, or mentally blackmailing you into submission. They want to control. Unfortunately. When I need you. Somebody doesn't seem to be there, and they're going to have to apologise for that. Not there when you needed them. Yeah, it's a nightmare situation, but that cage door was always open, so you could leave at any time, and you chose not to. The nightmare will continue until you do. Sleepless nights. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but somebody here is caught between two properties, two people, two situations, a choice, and it's a dark one. Twin Towers, so again, September the 11th. And the number 18, the full moon, which is coming up. So it could be that. Something is waiting to be created, but there's so much dark here. Somebody keeping secrets, lies, deceit. Feeling emotionally bereft, lost, financially lost, having nothing. Feeling half erased, ignored. At least 5 years. And health issues. A reunion, an apology, a celebration. A third party even, maybe. 3 months. May the 1st. And the truth will set you free. This maze, this puzzle that's been in your mind, the mind games has to stop. The truth must be told. The decision must be made, and one of those swords must be dropped. 1 week. Yeah, trouble is this money, this businessman, this Capricorn of any gender, somebody possibly of a darker complexion, perhaps of uniform, has lost everything. Finances, security. There was once a good friend, but could become a very dangerous enemy. The cuckoo in the nest. But if you want to grow, you have to grow through pain. This is pregnancy, this is mothers, mother-in-laws, mothers of your children. This is agriculture, this is Venus, this is her mother. And her mother said, I ain't having this. These people have put my daughter at the gates of hell. Unless she's born on the 2nd or the 29th, or live at 2 or 29, then it could be a man. They've put them at the gates of hell deliberately. And hell will freeze over before I let that happen. So she went to the gods and she said, this land, this earth will be frozen until you bring my daughter back. But because of she'd been on hunger strike, the devil deceived her, lied to her and said, eat something, you're going home. Knowing that if the condition was, if she'd eaten anything, then however much she'd eaten, she would have to stay there for so many months of the year. So she ate, I believe it was 3, but could be wrong, pomegranate seeds, which kept her in hell for part of the year. Hence why we have the seasons of winter. So, a very nurturing Taurus energy, but it's also about speaking your truth, the neck and throat, of growth. Those born in the year of the pig. And Alice, narrow-minded, greedy, stubborn, controlling, cannot see and will never enter that doorway. Will never ever be able to go there because they're putting too much energy into controlling and holding on to something that's past its sell-by date. And underneath it is today's card, but it's the 11 because it's in a different deck. So the 11 does always come with the High Priestess, where I come from. It's 11th of October, which is when the carnival comes to town, but it may be a different date for you. So it's a sticky situation, isn't it, this, by the look of it? You cannot give birth without pain. So somebody is waiting to create something, but they're trying to avoid the pain. So Uranus is rebellion. Somebody is rebelling. 4th house, we know, is the home, the family life, the immediate environment. The stomach and the breast, the home, the ancestral line. Your parents, your childhood, your inherited patterns, family environment, upbringing, and the womb. The 4th house is home, the base from which you venture out into the wild. If it coincides with a water sign, the likelihood is that the home is charged with emotion and the act of leaving a fearful one. Someone is afraid. Fire signs are the most confident in this realm, whereas air homes have their basis in mental rapport and earth homes in places of comfort and support. So see what you've got in your 4th house, because it's not talking about your sun sign, because your sun sign is not all you are. The home is where we feel most secure. That doesn't necessarily mean the 4th house is a gentle, easy environment. Some people are at home in a battlefield. So again, there's the pregnancy, the conception year, which is what Spirit told us about. Their internalized sense of home and security will depend on their initial childhood experience. Scorpio in this house, which we've got, indicates disturbing but unvoiced undercurrents permeated through the home. This early experience of home is sought out and replicated in adult life. So if you're born into a battlefield, you will probably be comfortable in that battlefield. So Uranus in Scorpio, unfortunately, this placement seeks new understanding of life and death with a leaning towards metaphysics, which is the spiritual. So that's where the control comes in. One is spiritual, one is material. It can be cruel and emotionally unpredictable. And someone here is cruel and emotionally unpredictable. So it may be hard to make the decision to leave because of the threat that hangs over the head. Bakana, Beth, fertility, something mental and physical, personal growth, regenerative power and light, of spring, of renewal, of promises, of new beginnings and new growth. Promises must be kept. So, false promises will be made. Bakana, the letter B, the birch tree and Beth. It is number 18. So we have it, 18. Bakana. We also have the swan there, and she is usually the mate for life. So a single swan is someone who's divorced or widowed. Björk bears no fruit, yet without seed it brings forth shoots. So somebody may be barren, for it is generated from its leaves. Splendid are its branches and gloriously adorned. Its lofty crown reaches the sky. So the crown, leaf for Beth. Also the bear, which is Virgo, which we've already had mentioned. The graceful swan, which is Aquarius. It is the herbalists, the healers, and the runes. It's the birch tree. Growing things connected to agriculture and people, babies. It is the goddess of the spinning wheel, fate, change. There's the wheel. Name could be important. Odin and his wife, Wednesday, the patroness of women in labour and infants, marital fidelity, fiercely protective mother of their children, and a union, possibly an elopement. So, Bakana is the rune of new beginnings. It indicates good news, a birth, fertility, times of family rejoicing such as weddings. The rune's link with the birch tree in particular and agriculture in general shows that a time of personal growth is on its way. This may involve material, domestic, or by far the most likely spiritual affairs, because Bakana is also associated with intuition, the higher self and your soul purpose on this earth. A more specific indicator, so your soul purpose on this earth. A new project is getting off the ground but will need rigorous care and attention if it is to thrive, much as a human infant needs the loving care of its mother in order to thrive and develop. Traditionally, Bakana relates to women's issues, particularly feminine health and the care of infants. In its upright position, the rune can be regarded as a good omen. It denotes proper growth and development. If the question is about health problem, the appearance of Bakana symbolises natural regenerative powers and a raising of the spirit as a sense of well-being returns. So, light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, the bobcat. Somebody's had their tail chopped and now they're impatient. The bobcat and the blackthorn. So again, the Leo energy. With Roman numerals, that's that L again. I'm going to have to, I'm sure you put it in Elaine what the L meant. So it's XL. XL. 33, 34, 35, 36. 1 minute. XL. X1. X2. Where's the bloody hell is X? Oh, there we go. XL1, XL. 40. Surely. Anyway. Bobcats are stealthy hunters, blending easily into their environment. They are independent creatures. So this is reverse. So somebody is very dependent on others, who can wait for hours for their prey, pouncing up to 10 feet at the right moment. The blackthorn is a thorny shrub covered in bittersweet berries called sloes, from which we make gin. Associated with overcoming obstacles, the blackthorn's sharp spine provides shelter to vulnerable birds. According to law, if blackthorn berries are plentiful, the coming winter will be severe. Traditionally, harvest in late autumn. Sloes provide nourishment in the form of jams, wine, and other hardy treats, with which to patiently pass a harsh winter. So it's going to be a harsh winter, and we're going to have to get through it. Someone is vulnerable. Someone's been put there by others. You have acted too hastily and are in over your head. Notice what preparations might serve you and plan more carefully in the future. How can you mentally prepare for such that you can survive when supplies are low? So you've got to live within your means, unfortunately. Wolfbane, number 29. So that High Priestess is coming out. The secrets are being revealed. Let's have a look. How to survive then, 29. The Latin name, Oconitum Lycotonum, Saturn and Mars, the truth and war, fire. Wolfsbane is steeped in folklore and magic, but is rarely used physically today in modern witches, both because of its high toxicity and the fact that it is often mistaken for monk's hood, Aconitum napellus. The wolfsbane is traditionally Aconitum lycotonum or Aconitum vulparia, with yellow flowers rather than purple hood of napellus. Famous in Greek lore, it was said to poison the tips of arrows to ward off wolves used by Medea in the attempt to poison Theseus. So there's the wolf, Capricorn, warding off that enemy. It's a protective herb against night creatures, from werewolves to nightmares. There's your nightmares. And its relative monk's hood is used as a wash upon magical items to empower them. Wolfsbane is said to force shapeshifters to return to their normal form, so to unmask those that are wearing masks. Likewise, it can be used to help us shift our shape to another perspective, particularly wolves and ravens, Scorpio, as a poison. It is sacred to the underworld gods, particularly the goddess Hecate of the crossroads. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome, so take a different path. The tiniest amount can be deadly. So if growing it or using it in any way, the utmost caution should be taken. Wolfsbane is not a friendly spirit to most people. It draws up that which is animalistic inside us, but its medicine is to help us face the primal fears and dreads of existence and in our own personal journey. Wolfsbane can help us tap into our inner wolf for protection and wisdom if we are not afraid to face the primal nature. Two wolves fight inside of you. The one that you feed is the one that you win. No, don't feed the fear, feed the positive. Wolfsbane releases our inner warrior, able to face any situation head on. The Wolfsbane spirit indicates courage, today's card, in the space of a challenge and a level of vitality and power to accomplish whatever is needed to go further and deeper. By tapping into the magic of your primal self, you will find victory. Here the primal wolf spirit under the full moon, there's the full moon again mentioned, is surrounded by the rune-encrusted boar-headed Tor. So boar, Venus, 3 and 30, mothers, fathers. The sign of a warrior, flanked by two lycanthropic wolfmen. The rune are Urus, Alligis, and Tiwas, Sawilo, Kenes, Manas. Above are the ravens reminiscent of Odin's familiars, Hugin, Munin, and Thought and Memory, travelling the nine worlds of Norse mythology for their master. Below is the Wolfsbane as a wise warrior and wanderer, garbed in green. So I will do a separate little video of all those runes that they mentioned. You are a spiritual warrior. Never forget it. So we have 29, we have 30, we have 31. We have 31 days in July. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5. So these next few weeks look like they're going to be very, very busy from the 26th. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 we have got. And 1 through to 5. So something is afoot. Be ready for it. The full moon is going to make a difference. Thanks for listening. Speak soon. Bye-bye.